How's it going? This is Tim with the channel Daily Deals with Tim, where I share about tech, cryptocurrency, and stock deals all for you guys. And if you guys like this content, please check out the channel and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Also, before I start, I want to mention this is my own opinion and not a professional advice. So today we're going to check out the update that went through Bitcoin, and that is called the Segregated Witness, shortened as Segwit. So what Segwit did to Bitcoin is that it went through a soft fork, which is a couple of changes that doesn't change the whole coin to another coin, but just a minimal change that might interrupt some activities, but not as much as a hard fork. So if you guys remember how Bitcoin was separate into a Bitcoin Cash and regular Bitcoin, that's a hard fork. But as for today's update, the Segwit was a soft fork where there's a couple of changes. Doesn't change the whole coin, but still has some changes, differences to get through. And there are going to be a couple of interruptions, but not as many as the other hard forks. So why is Segwit important to Bitcoin? Well, the TLDR, the basic information or basic statement is that Segwit will make Bitcoin faster and more efficient in transactions. So why is that? Well, if you look at this article, it says Segwit activation means Bitcoin's block size limit is replaced by a block weight limit, which allows for blocks up to 4 megabytes in size. So also, there is additional features to this, that Segwit transactions won't suffer from the malleability bug, which in turn enables advanced second layer protocols like the Lightning Network, atomic swaps, and masked, and more. So those things we're going to talk about in another video, but for today, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that Segwit really enhances Bitcoin through. And the first thing is that the block size limit becomes a block weight limit. So originally, Bitcoin had a block size limit of 1 megabyte. However, through the update in Segwit, now the block size limit becomes a weight limit so that the blocks can get up to 4 megabytes big. Although it says 2 megabytes is more realistic, but it still can go up to 4 megabytes. So this what it does is that this decreases network fees for users and speeds up transaction confirmation time. So this is overall a good thing for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is known for its lack of support in transactions. So if you guys own Bitcoin or don't own Bitcoin, whatever side you are, Bitcoin isn't as used as frequently as transactions. The one reason is that it is slow. I think it takes up to 10 minutes previously for Bitcoin to transfer from one to another, and also there's a high fee, and Bitcoin is growing and it's expensive. So there's a lot of things that would stop people from actually making transactions with Bitcoins. However, this actually makes it easier to transact and just gives better updates to Bitcoin in general. So yeah, so this is one positive outlook on Segwit. And let's see. So another thing is that that Bitcoin can be now transacted up to 4 megabytes big. So I said this before, but up to 4 megabytes. Traditionally, Bitcoin is 1 megabyte, but now it can get up to 4 megabytes. So that this means that transactions can be filled with more instead of only 1 megabyte. It can be filled up to 4 megabytes. So faster transactions and less fees, as I said. And this is pretty much the basic features of Segwit and what it does to Bitcoin. And also, there is a couple of other stuff that I mentioned, and that is going to be it allows for more advanced networks. So more advanced second layers, which I will mention in the next video. But let's look at the risk of Segwit activation for now. So as I said, Segwit is a soft fork. So it creates some changes to Bitcoin, but it's not a crucial drastic change. It's just a minimal changes that might have to be adjusted to everyone. So the first risk to all soft fork, and it depends on the miner actually enforcing the new rules. So if they don't, non-upgraded nodes as well as like clients could accept invalid transactions and blocks. So this could this will cause some it's not interruptions, but a inconvenience to the miners, because they have to actually come up with new Segwit addresses. So the Bitcoin itself does not change, but mining and sending Bitcoin, which address to send, that changes. So the address has to be Segwit in order to do a Segwit to Segwit transaction. So I think, I'm not too sure about this, but for right now, if a regular Bitcoin transaction goes to a Segwit transaction, Segwit cannot be activated between the two. However, if a Segwit address sends transaction to another Segwit address, then Segwit can be used so that the actual signature can be a separate thing and it can be a lot faster and with less fees. Yeah, so these are some of the risks. It's gonna mostly involve miners and inconvenience on their parts, but for Bitcoin users, it shouldn't be as difficult to see this change go on. All right, so that's it for today. And if you guys like this content and this type of content, remember to subscribe and hit that like and comment. So until next time.